Hello everyone and welcome to today's webinar. We will be discussing on a very trending and a tricky topic that is white level CloudShore solutions and how you can implement these solutions to make your business a successful one. I'm your host Anna. I have been working with ExpandForce for the past 1 year as marketing executive. We have Atul who will be taking care of the entire presentation as well as the Q&A session at the end of the webinar. He is our senior sales and marketing manager and he has been working with ExpandForce for more than a year. We also have Jay Dave. He is working with ExpandForce as business development executive. He has specially joined us. So in any case, if Atul faces any kind of technical issues, he can take over the presentation. So without any further delay, Atul, shall we start with the presentation?
Yes, thank you, Anna. Hi, good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, everybody. Thank you and welcome for today's webinar. Really appreciate everyone showing up. So let's start. So today in white labeling of CloudShore solutions and strategies, what we're gonna look into as a brief and small agenda is we're gonna first quickly go through our introduction, then how COVID-19 is changing the future of the work. Also, digital transformation challenges and opportunities coming up in front of our increasing companies. The managed service providers roadmap, how IT staff augmentation is reinvented now, in-house hiring versus CloudShore strategy, and how it's going to work. In the end, we're going to touch base upon some compliances and security necessities. And in the last, how we're going to save you some money with the help of CloudShore model. ExpandForce got its birth back in 2016 from CSC, Computer Solution East, where we have seen a huge demand for remote outsourcing. So with this demand, we also came up with an option to make a new entity or sister company called ExpandForce, where the main idea is behind increasing the head count for your companies and supporting in you in terms of all of technical necessities. ExpandForce follows ITIL framework. We're also been nominated into Fast CRN 250. This year we have been into Fast 150 by CRN. We're also certified into Inc 5000, and we also compliance with the NIST certification from the standards and technologies. With the onset of this COVID-19 since December 2019 basically, that's where all it started, and February and March 2020, that's where we have seen the lockdowns happening pretty much everywhere in the whole world. The workplace has changed drastically, and with this lockdown easing up, people are still trying to get on foot, trying to go into the office, but this workplace is definitely going to change now on, because what we believe, and pretty much this is what experts are also saying, that work from home is going to stay for long. Only 50 to 40% of people or the companies would be coming back to the office space, and even if they're going to come to the office space, the space would be less utilized, because social distancing is something which everybody gonna follow 2021 and 2022. So we are here in this for a long run. What gonna happen, how it's gonna change the workplace is that with this, it's gonna put too much pressure on dual work strategies, where we also need to maintain our infrastructure in terms of servers, laptops, phones, security compliances, on top of it, manpower, resources, and HR roles, basically. So workplace is changing, guys, so we need to be better prepared for it. So this is workplace which is changing. It also pushes us to embrace this whole new opportunity. Why this is an opportunity for ExpandForce, and why this is an opportunity for all the businesses around the world to change the whole paradigm shift over here. The reason is that if you will go for hiring in-house, let's say for example, so 94 is an average days it takes to hire a highly scheduled individual. It can be technical role, or it can be business role, or it can be HR role, or it can be any other role that you would like to have. 94 days is coming from a very simple calculation that it takes almost 1 month to schedule various candidates, interview them, then shortlist them in 1 month to 2 months, and on the next quarter is where their notice period comes in. So in total, normally it takes almost 3 months to get a guy or a resource. Now, once you have the resource, it takes 14 days, which is almost 2 to 3 weeks to onboard the resource properly or 100% into the company, because the resource is going to study your standard operating procedures, your process, your documentations, or they want to skill up themselves trying to tune with the current organization. Then if the resource is getting to work for you or not, that's where the next 2 months of timeline comes in, which is where you're going to spend some money on training the resource, ensuring they have the right skill set as far as your standard operating procedure goes. And if the resource doesn't work out, then within 90 days he gonna leave. And by the time you're gonna do the formalities of his paycheck and then giving them other exit formalities, then it takes a 90 days. So you see over here, if we go with this calculation, it takes almost 6 months the time you realize that you already have wasted some money on the good resource which you think the resource gonna work out for you. I'm not saying to that it's a detrimental process. Of course, many companies are going in the same model, but given the COVID-19 situation, we have to reinvent ourselves and embrace this opportunity that contractual hiring is on the rise, and so that you can save all these time frame in directly getting the right resource and getting the work done, basically. So these are some of the challenges that we're going to look into. That customer demands are changing every day. For example, overnight scaling of the resources. They need overnight support to cover up for somebody or for your client. Let's say recently the Labor Day has been passed, right? So we need to have somebody to cover up for the shift, or it can be Christmas Day when we are into 24/7 support services. There can be ever changing technological requirements, because now we are into very fast pace of tech innovations and new demands are coming up from the businesses round the clock. The cycle of innovation technology has changed, which also puts a lot of pressure on the service providers, especially MSPs, uh, which again comes down to customers. Their needs are changing every day. So this is a challenge that we need to transform into opportunity. Now, other challenge that MSPs face is that they need to improve their bottom line, that they have to scale up their business revenue every year, if not in quarterly. Of course, everybody calculates quarter to quarter percentage growths. And then they also have a pressure of increasing their profit margins, consistent growth, backup, and redundancy reduction in their overall strategy. Expanding service portfolio is some of a challenge which we always can capitalize on, because more service portfolio you're going to have as a fast innovating technological companies nowadays. So this has become a need of the hour to be highly flexible when we are offering our services, because in the end every penny does matters, because with every penny you're going to have a dollar coming into your bank account, which not gonna come by offering only one single services. So divesting and diversifying your service portfolio is some sort of a challenge for the nowadays MSPs. Another challenge is that usually it takes 4 to 8 years for any business to mature, and then hopping this organization maturity levels is a challenge. We're going to touch base more about this challenge and how we can rectify this in coming slide. So let's look at this example over here. This is a typical MSP maturity roadmap which is being followed. So if you are a startup and for the first year, for a couple of years, you're going to have $250,000 of revenue. And to scale up your revenue in every couple of years, like 4 years, between 6 to 9 years, we are looking at a steep jump from 1 million to 2 million. How is this possible that leap jump your revenue? Is by having more number of your sales team increased. So you start with a couple of sales guys, or you would be the same sales guy on yourself. By the time you hire more team member, your technical staff member will keep on increasing. But if we will come up with the right expand force resources to help for this CloudShare model, this whole calculation shifts. What happens is that you can focus on these not as the total number of employees. These can be your total number of sales people who are focusing on increasing the sales from very first year. So when you do that, you have the chance to scale up not from 250K, you can directly go to 1 million as well, because higher number of salespeople have the potential to reach you quicker in $1 million target, or from 1 million to $2 million target. So you don't need to wait up to 6 years to reach 1 million. You can easily scale that up in the very first couple of years with the help of expand force, where you can focus more on your marketing and sales department. You can this how hope on your maturity levels. So this is a very classic example that by bringing the right partner for managing your in-house resources, now is definitely the more focus on your core businesses. So this is how we can easily hope the maturity levels of your any company. Now quickly let's look at how the IT staff augmentation has been reinvented. Early in the days when there was like decade ago, there was a BPO industry where most of those call centers have been done into bulk outsourcing, where you will have more than 150 or 250 resources taking the calls. That was a bulk. But today, even this IT staff augmentation has been changed in a very simple scenario that if you have to support only one customer for 80 hours in a month, so that's a very small deal, and which is also very specialized in terms of pay-as-you-go model. Back in the days, there was no much technological advancements. Today, now we are looking at new technologies like cloud, mobility, and big data, which also puts a lot of pressure on our resources, technical niche, and giving them the right training to ensure the job is well done. The pace for innovation has been increased a lot. So this is how its technological advancement is changing the scenarios for IT staff augmentation, the need of the resources which are very highly skilled. Back in the days also there wasn't really a startup culture, but now we can see from the last I would say a decade that a lot of companies or small companies are coming up with the new ideas, more and more IT services or IT product based ideas, and which is also contributing to your needs for IT cloud shoring. You cannot survive or think of surviving by just hiring these resources for supporting any other startups over there. This can quickly be achieved through this reinvented model of IT staff augmentation. Then in back in the days, there was too much of a complexity for having multiple vendors. So for your infrastructure, you will have one vendor. For your website or mobile application or any other cloud application, you will have another vendor. Then for your call center, you will have another vendor. But over here, providing all these services under a single roof is how we are simplifying this IT staff augmentation needs. So this is in all will look like a CloudShore experience. What we are calling this CloudShore is the outsourcing is a pass now. So let's move on to the CloudShore experience. How hiring an in-house versus CloudShore will look like. So finding the right talent could be tough, but in Expand Force, we do have a lot of resources sitting on bench, and plus we can have the ability to have the resource under our umbrella within a short time frame of less than a week. And costs can be very high in in-house resources, like we have seen in the example earlier, where it takes you about almost a couple of quarters to find out whether the resource is going to work out for you or not. But with Expand Force, you pay the price just right, and also at very discounted rate. Not only that, there is a no contract terms. So whenever you feel like you're not happy with the customer, basically, the resource, basically, then you can just cancel the contract or ask for a replacement, thus saving the cost very much. A lot of work has been gone by in finding the right talent, negotiating their time, their salary, and all those things. Here, the finding the right talent, it takes less time because we do have a huge source and pool of resumes and profiles with us who are on bench as well. So having the right resource to you, it just a matter of days for us to fill up the position. The administrative task takes a lot of time when you're going to do the in-house hiring, but with CloudShare model you can have short-term as well as you can have long-term projects. Plus it's going to give you a lot of flexibility in terms of technical niche. When we talk about technical niche, it can be development side, it can be infrastructure side, or it can be security side. It's just like you name it and we have it. As per from the last trend for the last decade, cost saving had been a primary reason, but since the onset of this COVID-19 situation, we have seen a lot of pressure has been over there on the businesses to optimize their cost. So this trend is going to continue for next 5 year at least, and this whole working atmosphere is going to be reinvented. So that's the companies are moving towards having cloud shoring as the model, and our prices will cost you. We have seen in the earlier slides that it's definitely going to cost you less than hiring one quality employee. Let's look at quickly about some of the services, how Expand4 is gonna give you the cloud shoring for all of your IT needs. Quality is on the top agenda over here since we do have a lot of certified professionals with us, and we hire all these resources on our payroll by utmost interviews, test and vetting process, which gives us the right resources to serve you better. Profit margins are been increasing because all these costs have been provided to you from India and Philippines and US market. So it's a mix and match scenario. Plus we provide services in 24 hours, 7 round the clock, 365 days. So now we are not saying it's a outsourcing model, but it's more of a cloud shoring because remote is the new mantra as of now, to work from home for everybody, and that's how we are providing the services. Just like today we are conducting this webinar, it's a work from home webinar, and we are with the right resource and capabilities we are successfully delivering this webinar. So it's a one classic example for you guys. So we take responsibility for the results, and we do offer all these solutions and services covering all of your needs. So basically all you need guys need to do is that you need to just focus on increasing your profits, increasing your sales. That's all you guys need to focus on. Towards the tech part, you leave it to us. How does it works? That you send us your client's project details, or your project details can be fixed based, or it can be dedicated based, or it can be in terms of SLA based, with the number of hours, time zone, and how many days or which extra days you want us to support. Based on that, we will reply with your services or packages or other needs. And if you need a white label services contract, which we gonna discuss in coming next slides, how the white label works out, and then we will operate under your brand. So this is basically a small insight for you guys to see that how white label CloudShore service is going to work. So now, because of this, again, COVID-19, we're going to talk about, but soon after these next quarter in 2021, we're going to set our foot. 50% of business leaders have already acknowledged that it is really a time for those who haven't yet optimized their workplace environment. So it's not only workplace environment, but it's time to restructure pretty much everything, which means that partnering up with the right technology solution provider, which has to be one-stop shop. Then how we are restructuring everything, that we are having Microsoft and Cisco certified expert. They're working for us. Not only Microsoft and Cisco, we also do have a cloud expert like AWS and Google. That is for the cloud. When we talk about managed IT services, so we have tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, up to tier 10 level of resources over there to help sustain your business around the clock. shortage of skilled resources, then we are here with this CloudShare model to work for you, and your customer won't even know about that. So that's where the white labeling will come into the line. This all in the end is going to help you restructure your workplace in better segment, and it will in the end help you optimize your bottom line, which is again is the necessity of the hour. So this is the guy how Expand Force offers the CloudShore model when we talk about white labeling. So this is where the Expand Force is sitting, providing resources from India and Philippines and US. So these three regions we are providing 365 days, 24 hours, 7 services. Then these are our resources, and that's where the CloudShore model is working as of now. This is where you guys or your company is sitting as of now, and you take a resource from us, from Expand Force, with the help of right licenses, with the right compliances, which we're going to look into next slide, and with right resources, standard operating procedures, manuals, documentation. We ensure that the resource is white labeled, and the end customer, they will never know that the resource which they are working with is from Expand Force. What they will know that this resource is directly working with you. So this is whole the idea is about that it will give you guys a lot more brand visibility as compared to Expand for directly working with your clients, which of course there would be very negligible expenses, but again those negligible expenses are nothing as compared to your brand recognition, and it's going to help you as a brand to leap jump the maturity complexities. These are some of the compliances that I was talking about, that we do have an inventory of authorized and unauthorized devices. We do have GDPR and Microsoft compliance. We also have HIPAA compliance with the help of Microsoft. And we do have cyber security expert with us. We also offer penetration testing, so which helps that our system are highly tested and they don't have any vulnerability as of now. Or also we have remote remediation and assessment policies going on around the clock. Malware detection, email or phishing hacks are very basic level thing that we do. So when we talk about networking, secure and HIPAA compliant, that should all cover it up for us. On top of that, pen test services that we offer. So these are some of the compliances that we follow very strictly, which ensure that security is top of the agenda when we work with you and your client, because your reputation is at stake, and with your reputation, our reputation at stake, and reputation is something that we guys with Expand for when providing CloudShare model takes very seriously. Now, in the end, when we look about how this entire model will help you in terms of cost saving, let's just take a look at with this quickly, a small example. So let's say a support engineer with level 1 or level 2 engineer having 2 to 4 years of experience, the average salary for the year goes down somewhere in the range of $60,000 to $65,000 a year, or if even if we take it like $50,000 a year, and we add the bonus of $10,000 that you need to provide to a resource, considering again a 5% annual raise, which everybody expects by the end of the year, and let's say you spend about $5,000 on the training of the resource and other overheads, which are usually comes down to 22,000, just an average. So this all comes down to $100,000 expense for a resource to support your clients who is having 2 to 4 years of experience. But with the CloudShare model, if we go on a $3,500 per month for 2 to 4 years of experience of resource, that gives you a saving directly of $64,000 yearly. So this is very minimalistic, and in some cases we offer resources at $2,500. So when we offer resource at $2,500, this savings increases up to $75,000 a year as well. So you see, with this small calculation, you can see how this CloudShare model can help you guys scale up very quickly, not letting you guys worry about hiring the resources, training the resources, onboarding, and pretty much all those expenses. So major relief is not over here is expensive. Major relief is something about where you can focus on your company, taking it towards next level, increasing or expanding your bottom lines, and in the end helping you attain the growth very faster. So this was a brief presentation or know about guys about this webinar. Uh, to to get any free demo or consultation of our expert of any questions you guys will have, feel free to email us info@expandforce.com, or you can sign up our newsletter at our website. Also, we schedule time to time these webinars and events every month. So feel free to go to expandforce.com/events. Okay, thank you guys. Anna, I think I'm good. Let's move on to any Q&A we will have.
Yeah, thank you, Atul. That was indeed a wonderful presentation, and I believe our attendees have got a loads of insights with this webinar. So let's quickly hop on to our Q&A session. We do have a couple of questions for you, Atul. The first one is, what type of partners do you work with? I provide security operations as a service, and I'm looking for partners and platforms to white level our services.
Okay, so if I'm understanding correct, let's quickly give you an idea when we talk about what services we do provide. So Expand Force have a CloudShore model which gives us the flexibility to increase our own portfolio as well. So let's say for example today you provide cybersecurity services. In top of that, very niche service is penetration testing services. Just an example, you don't want to go into hassle of hiring this, more than 200 or $300,000 a year package of this resource. Then we have this expand force model within max to max couple of weeks of time frame. We can easily make you this resource accessible from expand force. So this is just a quick example. Some of the resources for Microsoft and Cisco certified when we are providing the tier 1, tier 2, tier 3 or to 10, tier 10 level services, we have the resources on in-house on the bench, and we can provide you them within just couple of days of signing the contract. Another example is that the flexibility, if we talk about, is design, development, web development, product development, whatnot, clouds, right? Again, over there also we can work on, sorry, excuse me guys, work on fixed base project or dedicated model. And beauty about all these things, just to add a last line, the cherry on the top is no contract for binding period for the entire year, just 2 weeks of notice, and you are free. So you will never feel like that you are being tied up into this contract thing. Did I answer the question, Anna?
Yes, Atul. Thank you so much. There is another question from Adam. Do we sign for NDA and SLS?
Yes, of course. Because without signing the NDA, we cannot boast about the security and confidentiality that we always talk about, right? So NDA is the very first thing that we always strive to go for, because again, like I said, reputation. So we take our reputation very strictly and importantly, the same way we expect that you would be taking reputation of yours and your clients at the stake. And confidentiality is something that everybody takes very seriously, right? We also work with GSA, government contract from New York office over there. So again, NDA and SLAs we have to honor. SLAs are in the range of anywhere between 10 minutes of response time to 5 minutes to 2 hours to 4 hours. But we have a various SLAs and redundancy clauses where the time frame varies from 5 minutes to 4 hours.
Okay, so talking about security, the another question is on that. It's from Megan. How about security at Expand Force?
Yes, again, good question. We do have security. Let me just go back to that slide again. So you see, these are some of the compliances that we follow very strictly. So we take inventory of our authorized and unauthorized devices. All of our employees' devices have been configured with MDM policies. Even if somebody is opening any file from their personal laptop or phone, that's gonna be blocked. So up to that level of security, we take into consideration that our resources or our employees, they will not be able to take advantage of those files, right? Then we secure our configuration of our hardware and software, right? Then we have these automation processes over there, control for assessment and continuous monitoring of audits. These are some of the processes that we follow on monthly basis, bi-weekly basis, and weekly basis, so that our security is of top level. If we won't be doing that, then we won't be HIPAA compliant by following with Microsoft Compliance Manager. And you know that Microsoft is in top of the game when it comes to the security. I hope I answered it.
Yeah, rightly said, Atul. We have regarding one more question regarding compliance. Do you have resources for audit and compliances?
Yes. So we have what we call them is our technical managers and compliance managers who do weekly basis or monthly basis. It's a part of NOC services that we provide. Who have if you're after doing the first initial assessment, the assessment can go from 2 days to 1 week maximum, depending on the number of resources that you have for infrastructure or PC or laptop or phones. Based on that, we suggest you the recommendation and the steps that we need to do. For example, we have to schedule an automation of the scanning and automation of the logs. So those are some of the steps. And then once any vulnerability is being found, then the steps to resolve it. So we have all those resources who continuously assess, monitor, fix. One good example is recently with CompuCycle, one of our customer, they got their website hacked, right? So within 1 week, we gave them the resource, and it was a small project for us, only 1 week. So there was a fixed based project, and we not only removed the malware from their system, but also ensured that we have put educate policies in place, so that their site cannot be hacked again. So that was about the site, but we also support big applications like Azure Cloud or any other Cisco Meraki clouds as well. Off to you, Anna.
Yeah, thanks, Atul. Due to time constraint, we will end our Q&A session over here. If you have any queries, any more queries regarding this or any other EF services, please do call us at 954-271-5970 or email us at info@expandforce.com. Thank you so much to all my attendees for attending this webinar, and thanks to Atul and Jay to make this webinar a successful one. Thanks everyone, and stay safe.
Yeah, thank you everyone. Stay safe, stay secure. Thank you. Bye.